Hey guys, it's Drew again. The more things change, the more they stay the same. History kind of repeats itself, and it's no different in cards and the way we collect. I noticed a correlation decades apart, but between two different items within my collection, and I thought it was kind of interesting, so I want to share it with you today. So let's check it out. So for most of us, the 90s, it didn't seem that long ago. But the 90s was a decade that was huge for card collecting, and there were so many new innovations, and there was this competition constantly between all these different sets and companies and brands trying to outdo each other with what they could do to make their card more flashy or more showy or whatever. And we look at it back and we say, well, maybe that was a junk wax era, but it really created a lot of innovation. Some things worked and some things didn't. Well, I want to share a card that I got back then, and it was so cool. It was revolutionary at the time. It was put out, I don't remember the year, and it's not even stated on there, but it was put out by Donruss. And I was a big Griffey fan and collector back in the 90s. But here's the card. And the difference is, it's not just a regular card. As you can see, there's a hole in it. Well, the reason is because it's actually a CD-ROM. Remember these? And this was cool because you could put this in your computer and it would play highlights of Griffey. It was so neat. Like, just at your fingertips, you could look anytime at the highlights of Griffey's career up to that point. How innovative was that? I mean, there was no other way you could do that unless you happened to have it on a VCR tape and you'd go back through. But you know, you look at this now, this is old technology. This is lame. I mean, if I showed my kids this, they're like, what? You have to go put it in? I mean, literally right now, you could go on YouTube where you're watching this and just go and put Griffey highlights and boom, you've got them at your fingertips way faster than this. But at the time, this was state of the art. This was technology. This was cool. Kids were clamoring for stuff like this. But nowadays, we look at it at the lens of the next 30 years, and you're like, it's kind of old school. It's kind of weird. It's kind of ugly. But I still think it's kind of cool. And why does that relate to what we collect? I mean, a lot of us, we talk about vintage. Well, I don't think it's any different than the set that's probably the most hated or loved or talked about as far as a set that I don't know if I like it. What's your feelings on it? Whatever. And that is the 1955 Bowman. Now, you know about this set. This was the last year Bowman put out a set before it was finally bought out by Topps, and then Topps became the king for the next whoever knows how long. And we look back at this set and we think, oh man, I don't know, that color TV, that wood grain and the paneling or whatever. But color TV was huge. 1955, this was state-of-the-art technology. Kids were fascinated to look. I mean, most kids that would buy these cards didn't have a color TV. A lot of them may not even have a TV, and if they did, it wasn't big, and it definitely wasn't color. But look at the colors that they put. Look at the photographs that they put. It's like popping out at you. Now, I don't have a ton of these, and if you follow my stuff, you know exactly the cards I have. Obviously, I've got the Pee Wee Reese. I'll show my other ones as well. I've got Carl Erskine, which is a great picture. Just a great sort of right before his delivery. I love that picture. Sorry, Scott, but my Mini Minoso, and I love this card, and we joke about it or whatever, but it's still a great picture, and it's showing that sort of action right there. And the last one, which I don't know if I've shown, is a Carl Furillo from that set. So those are the only four I have. But the point is that the color TV at the time, it was huge. It was almost like fascinating. I mean, all you could do is, if you could find one, you turn it on and color would come through. I mean, it was new. It was revolutionary. It was no different than back in the 90s where you could take something like this, pop it in a computer, and you could see highlights just like that. Nowadays, this seems old. It's dated. It's ugly. It's weird, but you know what? It's kind of cool. It's vintage. It's got that feel of our parents or our grandparents looking back and saying, that was kind of cool. That was revolutionary. Look at the colors. Look at the photographs. If you don't like the wood grain and you just focus on the photographs, honestly, there are some fantastic photographs that Bowman picked to put into the set. And I absolutely love that. And it's funny because out of all the sets that we look at and we talk about, you know, when we got into vintage, maybe when we were younger or years ago or more recently, it's one of those sets that's sort of polarized. And we're like, yeah, well, I don't really like the 55 Bowman. But over time, most of us, we kind of grow comfortable with it. It sort of feels like a vintage feel to it. It's not as cheesy and hokey as the wood grain paneling and all that stuff on the TV, but it becomes more like coming home. You pop on the TV and you're sort of there with family watching a ball game and watching your favorite players in color. And that's what I really like about this set. So is it a fair comparison? I don't know. I think it kind of is. This is old and weird. It's dated, but it's kind of cool too when you think about it. This is old and dated, but it's really got a classic feel to it. So what are we doing now? What in technology are we looking at right now that we're like, this is the cool new state of the art way to do something when it comes to collecting or baseball or viewing or being a fan or whatever? And 30 years from now, our kids will look at it and be like, oh, that was so old. That was so cheesy. It was so hokey. I don't know. I don't know what those things are. But I almost bet that maybe 50, 60 years from now, long after I'm gone, people may look back at it and be like, you know what? That's classic. And I really like that. Share your thoughts. Put it in your comments down below. What do you think? You think this is hokey? You think this is old and old school? Do you think this is just lame and whatever? Is this a fair comparison, or are you just kind of talking for the heck of it? I don't know. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I appreciate you guys coming along as always. And until next time, you guys be good.